Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Chocolate Candy Elsie. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to share a little bit about me. I was born on August 21st, 1969 at 2:04 a.m. to which my father wanted to kick me around the hospital because I was born 4 minutes after the bars closed and he could not buy beer for all his buddies. Anyway, I'm the third child out of 5 that my parents had. I have an older brother, I have my sister, and 2 younger brothers. Growing up, I would say my childhood was not that well. My parents worked all the time, so I had to take care of one of my younger brothers who was, at the time they called it mental retardation. He was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice, so he lost 25 minutes of oxygen. So while my parents worked, I was responsible for cleaning the house, cooking, making sure he took his medication, giving him baths because he was like a 3-year-old. I took care of him until he passed away at the age of 22 of a massive seizure. I then started, trying to have my own life. Well, then, things happened. I was molested, I was raped, date raped, beaten, all because I grew up being told if you were told to do something by your parents, you obeyed it. So, my mother would tell me I need to go across the street and wait for the cable guy for this guy she was secretly seeing. Well, little did I know this guy was gonna take advantage of me. I was molested by him, I was raped by him, and if I tried to tell my mother about it, I was told I was lying and I was trying to break them up. That, to this day, she still thinks I'm lying about it. I've tried talking to her. She won't. She still thinks I'm lying, and it's a relationship between a daughter and a mother I don't think will ever be put back together. Be like it was. Anyway, and because of all these rapes and, molestation from this guy, I figured, okay, that's the way, you're supposed to be treated by a guy. I didn't know. So, I started, going out with other men, which turned out to me getting date raped and beaten again. And I figured, you know, this is the way it was supposed to be. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, I gave up on God at some point. Well, one of the guys I went out to meet beat me so bad that I figured I would have been better off dead or whatever. But anyway, God, for some reason I heard God say, "No, you need to come back to me." So, I found my way back to God and met who was to be my future husband at church. We got married on St. Patrick's Day of the year 2000. We had 2 beautiful daughters who I won't share their names for their safety. Anyway, my daughters have been awesome the last couple of years. Anyway, back in, my husband at the time, he had some health issues. I became his caregiver. Anyway, so September 2nd of 2019, the wonderful man that God had sent to me had passed away after having an emergency hernia surgery and was not able to get off the ventilator and had passed away. And then most of you know my sister, who was known as Noodly Bits. Anyway, me and Donna worked together at our local Walmart. I was a cashier. She was the door greeter. And anyway, the one day she came back so we could have lunch, and her hands were so cold. I mean, it was like she had her hands in the freezer or something. And I asked her, is she okay? And she goes like, no, I'm just really cold. Well, we sat down and had lunch, and I called her the next day to see how she was doing. And all she could do was cry. So I told her I was going to call Mom and have Mom take her in. When she went in, we found out she had a stroke while she was at work. So anyway, while she's in the hospital, she just had stroke after stroke after stroke. And I had made the decision, with the help of, my brother and my mother, that we would put her in the hospice care. And so I signed the papers putting her in the hospice. I signed the papers to do not resuscitate. I signed papers not to do a feeding, not to give meds, not to do anything, just make her comfortable. Anyway, 5 days later, I got a call that she had passed away. Now, I knew she didn't want us to be, to suffer. I knew what she wanted, and I know I did what she wanted me to do. But to this day, I feel like I signed her death certificate. And I feel like my mother is blaming me for her death because I signed all the papers because she wouldn't do it. Yeah, so anyway, and then right now I just want to thank Mrs. C's Cottage, who sent me this beautiful prayer shawl. I was gonna bring it with to show y'all, and I forgot it. But I totally appreciate it, and I will link her down below in the description box. So, thank y'all for listening. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and watch for future videos. Bye.